Hello aspirants, this is Ahir and I welcome you back to SSBCrack exams. In this lecture, we shall be discussing a 100-day study plan for your upcoming NDA examination for the GAT GK section. So let us begin without any further ado. So as you all know that the NDA examination is conducted twice a year by UPSC. So it is for admission in National Defence Academy, which is actually a joint service academy for all the Indian Armed Forces, where cadets of all three services, that is Army, Navy and Air Force, train together before they go on to their respective service academy for further pre-commission training. So NDA Academy is located in Khadakwalsa, Pune, Maharashtra, and it is actually the world's first tri-service academy, and this is what makes this exam one of the most prestigious and one of the most toughest examination in India. So as far as the question paper is concerned, two papers are asked: mathematics for 300 and general ability GAT paper for 600. And further, the scheme of marking, where you can see mathematics is for 120 questions for a total of 300 marks. For every correct answer you get 2.5 marks, and for every wrong answer 0.83 marks are deducted. Yes, there is a scheme for negative marking also. And the GAT question paper again further can be divided into two subsections. One is for English and another is for GK. So English section is concerned, 50 questions come there for a total of 200 marks. For every correct answer you get 4 marks, and for every wrong answer minus 1.33 marks are deducted. And for the GAT GK section, 100 questions come for a total of 400 marks, where every correct answer you get 4 marks, and for every wrong answer minus 1.33 marks are deducted. So a total of 270 questions from these two question papers fetch you around 900 marks. So components of NDA general ability test syllabus as far as GK section is concerned. For English section, there are separate videos and analysis. I would strongly suggest you go and watch them. So as far as the GK section is concerned, we can broadly classify them into physics, chemistry, biology, geography, history, polity, economics, static general knowledge and defense specific related one. So let us divide the syllabus and conquer. So first important one is actually physics. Look at the NDA 1 2022 question paper. A whooping 24 questions came from this. Actually, the highest number of questions that have come in this question paper were actually from the physics, and consistently you can see 22, 21, 21, 25 questions were asked in the previous examination. So going through the same trend in the upcoming NDA examination also, you can expect somewhere around 22 to 25 questions coming from this section, which can easily fetch somewhere around 88 to 100 marks. So 3 hours per day will be more than enough for 100-day strategy, I would suggest. And day 1 you will be reading with physical world, units and measurements, motion in straight line, motion in plane. Day 2 laws of motion, work, energy and power, rotational motion, gravitation. Day 3 you will be revising what all important topics mentioned above. Look, these sessions or these study plans have been meticulously designed that they allow not just to read you the subject but also to revise it and make sure that the intensive reading is important for these important topics. So day 4 again 3 hours per day, solid mechanics, fluid mechanics, thermodynamics and kinetic theory of the gases, and day 5 revision of the topics mentioned above. Day 6 oscillation, waves and wave optics, revision from solid mechanics to waves and wave optics. Day 7 electric charge and fields, current, electricity, moving charges and magnetism. Day 8 electromagnetic induction, revision from current electricity to electromagnetic induction will be covering. Day 9 you will be reading electromagnetic waves, optic and optical instruments, photoelectricity, atomic physics and semiconductors. Day 10 revision from electromagnetic waves to semiconductors. So this will be a wrap up for your physics, and moving towards the next most important part of your syllabus is chemistry. Again, you can see in NDA 1 2022 18 questions were asked from chemistry subject alone. So even in 2021 NDA 2 examination 13 questions and 16 questions were asked in NDA 1 2021, and similarly 17, 15, 14 questions were asked in the previous questions. Going through the same trend even in the upcoming examination, you can expect somewhere around 12 to 15 questions coming from the chemistry section alone, which can fetch you somewhere around 48 to 60 marks. And day 11 and 12, 2 days, matters in our surrounding is matter around us pure, structure of atoms, structure and molecules. Again, you will be revising what all you have read till now. Day 13 and 14 chemical reaction and equations, acids and bases and salts and metals and non-metals, carbon compounds, classification of elements. And day 15 you will be revising what all you have read till now. Day 16 and 17 basic chemistry, state of matter, atomic structure, advanced chemical bonding and revision of what all you have read till now. Make sure that whenever you are reading, you are also revising them at the end of the day. Day 18 to 19 thermodynamics, solution, equilibrium, redox reaction and electrochemistry, chemical kinetics and revision from thermodynamics to chemical kinetics. Day 20 and 21 you will be reading surface chemistry, metallurgy, hydrogen, S&P block, D and F block, coordination compounds, and day 22 you will be revising from surface chemistry to coordination compounds. Day 23, basic organic chemistry, hydrocarbons, haloalkanes, organic compounds containing oxygen, nitrogen, and day 24, you will be revising what all you have read till now. And day 25, polymers, biomolecules, environmental chemistry, chemistry in everyday life, miscellaneous subjects in the chemistry, and you will also be revising them at the last day. This will be a wrap up for chemistry. So day 25, you should wrap up your physics and chemistry. Next most important part of your syllabus is biology. In the NDA 1 2022 recent examination, 10 questions were asked from this section alone. So going through the same trend, 9, 10, 12, 9, 11 questions are asked from biology section alone. So going through the same trend, 10 to 12 questions can be expected for your upcoming NDA examination. And again, day 26, 3 hours per day will be more than enough, because you also have to read other subjects: biological classification, plant and animal kingdom, day 27 and 28, anatomy of flowering plants, transportation and nutrition in plants, day 29 and 30, reproduction, respiration in plants, biomolecules and cell cycle and division. Day 31, you will be reading about everything about human, that is digestive system, circulatory system, excretory system, etc. And day 32, human hormones and integration, human reproductive system. Day 33, genes and inheritance, diseases, microbes and human welfare. And day 34, ecosystem dynamics, biodiversity and environment should be wrap up for your biology. Next most important chunk after physics is actually geography, which fetches you highest marks again next to physics. You can see in the NDA 1 2022, 18 questions were asked from this geography section alone. In 2021 also 19, 22, 20 questions were asked. Going through the same trend, even in your upcoming NDA examination, 20 to 22 questions can be asked, which can easily fetch you somewhere around 80 to 88 marks. So again, 3 hours per day, day 35 and 36, start with the geography basics like latitude, longitude, time zones and physical features, important strait, international boundaries and their names, physical features of India, etc. Day 37 and 38, names and information of all states, UTs and coastal regions, major rivers and their tributaries, hydro, thermal and nuclear power projects and stations in India. Day 39 and 40, location of minerals, major industries and industrious and historical cities. So day 41 and 42, types of agricultural practices, agricultural patterns and all, green revolution, factors causing pollution, global warming and related stuff. Day 43 and 44, list of all major national parks in India, biodiversity hotspots of our country, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, major environmental industrial summits and events. Day 45 and 46, origins of the interiors of the earth, the different levels of atmosphere, formation of rock, various famous volcanoes and various landforms. Day 47 and 48, various geomorphic processes such as earthquake, volcanoes and cyclones, pressure belts and grid systems are also important one, ocean currents, etc. Direct questions are asked from this section. Day 49 and 50, you will be dealing about the soil, afforestation and various grasslands, where types of natural vegetation, renewable and non-renewable energy. Day 51 and 52, major biomes of the world, various tribes, migration and settlements, towns, megacities and projects. Day 53 to 57, complete geography revision has to be done, and day 57 should be a wrap up for your geography. And next most important part of your syllabus is actually history. Again, in the previous year questions, NDA 1 2022, 12 questions were asked from the history alone. So again, going through the 10, 15, 11 and 17 questions were asked. Similarly, in this attempt also, you can somewhere around expect 15 to 20 questions coming from the history section alone, fetching you somewhere around 60 to 80 marks. And day 3, day 58 and 59, 3 hours per day will be more than enough. Start with the ancient history, start with the ancient history, Stone Age and all, Indus Valley Civilization, Vedic Society, Mauryan, Sangam Literature, Empire, indigenous dynasties, Gupta period, etc. And day 60 and 61, dynasties of medieval North India and dynasties of medieval South India. We are going a transition into ancient to medieval India. And day 62 to 63, Delhi Sultanate and Vijayanagara Empire. Day 64 and 65, Mughal Empire, Carnatic Wars, Anglo-Maratha Wars and Anglo-Sikh Wars. Day 66 and 67, stages of colonialism, drain theory, railway introduction and commercialization of agriculture. Day 68 and 69, impact of Western education. You are going again further into the modern India, rise of social and religious reform movements, 1857 revolt movement by trade unions. Day 70 and 71, establishment of Indian National Congress and its session, moderates and extremist economic nationalism, that is the Swadeshi and the Vande Mataram movement, home rule movement. Day 72 and 73, Khilafat and non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement and Subhash Chandra Bose and Indian National Army. Day 74, rise of Muslim League, partition of India and independence. Day 75, everything regarding the Indian Constituent Assembly, industrialization and agrarian reforms. Day 76, policy of non-alignment, Panchashil, etc., wars with Pakistan, China, etc., everything related to India's involvement and the kind of relationship which we have with UNO. And day 77, important one, world history has to be studied separately for NDA. Questions from world history are also asked. So that will be a wrap up for history. Moving towards Indian polity, again in the NDA 1 2022, 8 questions were asked from this section, and in NDA 2 2021, 10 questions were asked. NDA 1 2021, 5 questions were asked. A bit more of fluctuating patterns we can find, and going through the same trend, 4 to 6 or 8 questions can be expected. 16 to 20 marks can be easily fetched. Look, make sure that you are sticking on to the plan, because moving away from these subjects or topics, you will be ultimately in the loss, because hardly you find questions coming out of these topics. So make sure that you are sticking on strongly to these topics. Day 78, again 3 hours per day, Constituent Assembly and Preamble of Constitution, Union and its territory, citizenship, fundamental rights, directive principles of state policies and fundamental duties should be a wrap up. Day 79, amending Constitution, basic structure of Constitution and Union Executive. Day 80, Parliament, Judiciary and the State Government. Day 81, Union territories and special areas, emergency provisions, center-state relations, local bodies, constitutional and non-constitutional bodies, and miscellaneous, and revision of all the topics you have read should be a wrap up for your Indian polity. And next most important aspect is current affairs and strategic. In the recent times, the prominence is growing. You can see it, NDA 1 2022, 10 questions were asked from this section, and similarly in NDA 2021, NDA 1 as well as 2 2021, 10 and 9 questions were respectively asked. Going to the same trend, again you can expect somewhere around 10 to 12 or up to 15 questions coming from this section. 48 to 60 marks can be easily fetched. And again, day 82, superlatives of India, that is largest, highest, etc. Indian space journey. Make sure that you are keeping a tab, you are reading in tandem with current affairs, because a lot of questions even in your in the static subjects like geography and history are also taken from the current affairs section. So make sure that you are attending our sessions, which we conduct every day daily from 8 to 9 the current affairs session, and from 9 to 10 it is actually daily defense current affairs. So make sure that you are collecting the PDFs and revising them. So important art forms and cultures, mostly which are in news. So national institution, national important days of recognitions, countries, capital, currencies and languages. Day 83, superlatives of world, international boundaries, important cities and strategic location. Day 84, international days, international organizations and the headquarters, Bharat Ratna, Nobel Prize, military gallantry awards. Day 85, movie related awards, awards related to books, Gnanapith awards, etc. Famous books or authors, famous news agencies and their editors or head. Day 86, you will be reading everything about the sports, Olympics, Commonwealth Games, Asian Games, etc. And day 87 should be a wrap up for your current affairs and static GK. Of course, you have to revise all of them. Defense specific is one such aspect which is least important one, but still one question or two question or three questions can be expected. And even in NDA 1 2022, one question was asked from defense specific question. So going to the same trend, one or two questions can come from here, fetching you somewhere around 4 to 8 marks. Of course, why to lose even that? See, again, day 88, 1 day is enough, 3 years is more than enough. So make sure that you're reading about all the rank structures in all the services, commands of Indian Army, Navy and Air Force, military institutions and establishment, military deals, exercises which have happened. Again, daily defense current affairs are very much more important for you. Make sure that you're attending those sessions. And again, various regiments of Indian Army, various squadrons of Indian Air Force, Indian Naval warship and details should be a wrap up for your defense specific related one. And finally, day 88 to day 89 to 98, revise and take NDA mock test at SSBCrack examination. Seriously, this is one such important thing which you have to do. And day 99 and 100, 2 days, you should keep it for complete revision of subjects and test by SSBCrack exam. So this will be a wrap up for your 100-day NDA examination, study plan and analysis. So if I can sum up what I have told you, important points to remember: always make notes in a separate dedicated notebook. Restrict yourselves to basic information and conceptual analysis. You can always follow back the plan and get back to us at support at the SSBCrack exams if you are facing any kind of problem and having ambiguity. And I wish that each and every one of you come out with the flying colors, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming NDA examination. Thank you for watching my lecture. Jai Hind.